Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Our show today is a woman's prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. Our topic today is a hot potato. It's freedom or control, the global debate on digital ID. I'm Caroline Heward, and I'm absolutely thrilled and honoured to be representing Dr. Jacqueline as your host for USA Global TV and Radio's flagship show. I'm a TV presenter on the channel for USA Global TV and Radio, and I'm also an expert presenter on my own show, Expert Talking Heads. A warm welcome to all our loyal viewers and our friends at E360 TV. Hello to all of our viewers and our friends on our usual social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn and X. I'm joined today by our full-time panelist all the way from Canada, who is also excited about our topic today. Reverend Lydia Fougeres. She is residing in Canada and she is a TV presenter. She has her own show on USA Global TV and Radio in French. She's also an author of bilingual health self-help books. She's a registered nurse, holistic nurse, an intuitive and spiritual healer. She invented Miracle Mist, which is patent pending, and she's also invented another one about special mating. I think I've got that right, I'm not sure, but Reverend Lydia will tell you more about that. And she's an advocate for free rights. Let's welcome our wonderful full-time panelist all the way from Canada, Reverend Lydia Fougeres.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
A very warm welcome. And a new background as well, isn't it? Thank you very much, Dr. Jacqueline, our wonderful mission and vision and executive producer and extraordinary founder of USA Global TV and Radio, for our new backgrounds. Please, Reverend Lydia, please share with our viewers a little bit about how you provide value and how people can find out more about your new Miracle Mist.
Well, to start with, I'm a reverend, and I do help people all around the world. I invented the Miracle Mist because it is a myth. It is a spray that is patent pending, and it is to actually clear spaces. So people that have problems with ghosts, entities, low entities, they want to clear spaces for rituals, for witchcraft, whatever. They want to elevate the vibrations. The Miracle Mist is for that. I created it some 10 years ago, but it's patent pending. And I also invented the Perfect Mate incense, which I had a long time ago. And I tried with so many people before I actually put it on the market on Etsy.com. So that is pretty much what I am selling right now. And my two books, my self-help books, 111 Reflection for Thy Earth Odyssey, which are self-help books. They are in English and French and soon to come in Spanish. and I'm project manager for Canada and French-speaking countries for USA Global TV and radio.
Woohoo, you're rocking. Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia. All of that. Whoa, I've watched you grow and evolve on this platform. It's wonderful to witness how you have really grown, and it's an inspiration to anybody that decides to join the channel. So for me, I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert, and I help people bust their stress. How do I do that? I work with root cause therapy and chakra psychology, how the mind and body connects and what happens to the person physically, emotionally, mentally, behaviorally when there's an imbalance. And the imbalance is the symptom. So if somebody's walking around saying, I'm not stressed, but then they're in the next moment saying they didn't sleep well, or they have a physical ache and pain, or they're complaining about a relationship issue or a work issue, that is how the stress is manifesting in their lives. And I work with them in terms of identifying the root cause using the blueprint of the person, where it originally originated within their life. Usually it is in childhood, and it's a very quick process. I'm also an inspirational speaker, and I do lunch and learn events both online and in person. So let's get into our topic, Reverend Lydia. Freedom or control? The global debate on digital ID. Freedom or control around the world. Governments and corporations are moving towards digital IDs. A one card or app holds everything about you. Supporters argue it's about security, efficiency, and convenience. Critics, they warn it's the open door to surveillance, the open door to loss of choice. The impact on our mental well-being is huge. And the reason that I have looked at talking about this topic in particular is the UK has a proposal called the BRIC card, which is a digital ID. There is much open debate on the digital ID called the BRIC card. And the debate is not just local, it is global. What's really at stake when our identities go digital? It is a powerful topic, and I would like to share something very personal. When I signed the petition, which is a government petition, there were 700,000 people that had signed. And over the weekend, I think there's now over 2 million that have signed against it. So it's a big thing within the UK. And it made me want to look at why it has become so topical and such a hot potato, because it is being rolled out. So my first question, Reverend Lydia, is do digital IDs, do they empower our citizens, or do they, in terms of giving convenience, or does it give more power to the authorities?
Certainly is not giving the power to the citizens. This is giving our power to the government. I do feel that if we actually are forced into giving our ID, we lose our identity. So that is the way I speak. We lose our freedom. We lose everything. This is a lot at stake. Actually, this is our liberties at stake. This is a global matter that is extremely important, and we have to win. Actually, we have to be the winners. The government should not win on that, because remember the novel 1984. Everyone should remember that novel. Everyone should read it if they have not read it.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. George Orwell's 1984. If you haven't read it, yes, I highly recommend that you read it. It was always written about this time. It was called 1984, written in the 60s by George Orwell, as to what he thought might become a dystopian population ruled and governed by the governments, and how it would take away our freedoms. We're not there yet, but we are moving into this space, and that's why there is much fear. And certainly, from my own perspective, and for a lot of people that have been signing the petition in the UK, and I can speak about that personally because that is going on right now. It's a huge hot potato as a topic within the UK right now, with over 2 million people that are signed, and it's just racking up in the thousands, by the minutes. The worry is mandatory systems and accessing services and essential functions, and the concern that there is, and I'm looking at what's going on here within the UK, because that is what has made me consider this as a topic to debate, is that with government control, it could restrict access to services who do not comply. And with it being mandatory, this is the challenge that a lot of people are questioning. It's okay if it's not mandatory, but then if it's woven into the medical services, if it's woven into what we spend our money on and our carbon footprint, then there is a concern. And the Brits have had an experience of mandatory vaccinations and the vaccination passport, which was restricting lots of services. And I experienced a mass restriction on events and things that I could do because I didn't. So my question to you is, different countries, they framed the digital IDs in different ways. Many of them have framed it for protection and efficiency, and many of them have framed it from that perspective of it's going to be more convenient for the citizen. And digital IDs, it's not a new thing. Its earliest pioneers came out in the early noughties, with Estonia being the global lead. What are your thoughts on the fact that it's not a new thing, and yet there is huge uproar? In the early noughties, we weren't as technically advanced as what we are now.
Well, there is a lot more. They want it more because they want more control. The thing is that in the 90s, things were not as advanced. The technology was not as advanced. So they could not control as much. But now, with artificial intelligence, they can track us anywhere. Think about your phone. Look, they actually have locations. Have you ever realized that when you're using an app, the first thing they ask you is allow location always, now, or once in a while, whatever? I don't remember. There's 3. So there is a problem. Why would an app that you want to use want to know where you are? This is ridiculous. They do not know. They do not have to know where you are. They do not have to know what you are doing. You let us say you're using an app to take a scan. What's the point of knowing where you are? That's tracking you. So this means every time you use an app, you have to be tracked. So this, in a sense, is the way they are tracking us through our iPhones. So might as well put everyone on a leash, and they lead us, and they stop us from taking decisions, because we are supposed to be the decision makers. The government is not supposed to be the decision maker. But if we are having IDs everywhere, if They follow us everywhere. They know how we think, what we are doing, how much we are spending. They know everything about us. So there's no surprise in a person. Think about where last 3 weeks ago, when Mr. Kirk was assassinated in the United States. Well, they had the second day, the FBI took a picture of that person, the person of interest, and it was all over social media. And they said, hey, we cannot find that person with the ID. So it became extremely important to find a person, so they were asking the public. So by tracking someone with an ID, they know exactly what they're doing and exactly all the time.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. You've raised some very powerful concerns, and concerns that I truly implored in terms of the concerns that the British people have with the uprising of the Brit card. But then, as I mentioned, that, you know, other countries such as Singapore, India, Sweden, they're the forerunners in this digital identity. And I remember seeing that that some of the Swedish were interviewed on a documentary, and they were showing the human microchip, and where they could pay for things, and the microchip was in their hand or their wrist, and so they were paying for things using their hand, and they were able to open doors that was essentially instead of their keys. And I remember that, I don't remember when it was, but that came out quite some time ago. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, that's really scary. But the Swedish were really praising it, saying they don't have to remember where their keys are, and that the payment system was implanted in their hand. And Belgium is also at the forefront of the digital ID. So my question here is privacy. I feel, and it is a basic human right. Are we entering an age where it becomes a privilege?
Something that I do not do usually. I will ask you a question to you. What do you think of people that actually have put viruses in the internet, everything? What do you think would happen if they would control that?
Yes, it leads onto all sorts of very uncomfortable situations that will make life difficult for you, for me, for everyone. And when I was looking at this in particular, I was researching about human rights and the right to privacy. And there is a Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 12, a right to privacy, which is stating that no one should be subjected to arbitrary interference with their privacy, family, home, or correspondence. And there are many other examples of this right to privacy, which will be infiltrated and will be completely abused. Want to look at that as we've now reached the time of our commercial break, haven't we? Tossed this hot potato. So let's go over to our commercial break and delve further into this hot potato topic: freedom or control, the global debate on digital ID. See you back very shortly. Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia, for all of your amazing and insightful shares.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride, whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in. we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoop.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoop.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Hello and welcome back to A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. We have been discussing and highlighting this very hot potato, freedom or control, the global debate on digital ID. Let's welcome back our wonderful and full-time panelist, Reverend Lydia Fougeres. Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia Fougeres, for all your incredible, insightful shares. But let's really get into this. You mentioned about viruses, the risks and concerns. What are the dangers of placing all personal information in one system? Would there be a potential for hacking or misuse? And you mentioned viruses. There's so many data breaches right now with the fact that we are online. For instance, major retailers, even major information places like Cambridge had a massive data breach. What are your thoughts about the fact that the system has to be robust? And if it's not, data breaches are a huge security risk if we put everything in one place. What are your feelings on this, Reverend Lydia?
I think it's absolutely dangerous. This is the most dangerous thing ever. You have seen the debate in the United States lately, some months ago, that they gave access to Elon Musk that was not really part of the government. They gave him access to documents that were very, very case sensitive for the population. And this was dangerous. This was very dangerous. We're talking about someone that had so much power. And with power, comes responsibilities. So it is too much power to give to the government or to a person to actually have our info, because this means they actually own our lives. We do not want that at all.
Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia. What was really interesting in doing my research is that the US, Canada, and the UK are the main countries that don't have digital ID. Many of the European countries have, and it was since 2020 that many European countries came on board with the digital ID because of the mandatory requirements of the vaccine. So your concerns are my concerns too about the misuse. But what about scammers? What about people that hack on the dark web? And if all of your data is in one place, then the concerns that I have, if your medical records, your expenditure details, what you buy, it would, my feeling is that it would easily create much more means for identity theft and for people to be able to gain access to your credit files, to be able to scam money pretending to be you, where you will be penalized. Do you have any thoughts to share about that, Reverend Lydia?
Yes. Think about blackmailing.
Yeah.
How many people will be blackmailed for their track record? It's not completely white. So how many people would be blackmailed into giving up millions and millions of dollars because their track record is not perfect. So it is horrifying to think that something like that could happen. And the problem is that I am saying that right now, but we all know it will happen with AI. We all know it is going to happen. It is only a matter of when will it happen. So what the problem is that, we are the lucky ones. We are born in a time and age where no one had an iPhone with them or an Android. So we could be silly and stupid and actually, but now when you think about this, there's proof everywhere, there's proof all over the internet. So if you make a mistake, it's all over. So anyone can do anything with the mistake you made. Think about that couple that actually went to that concert not very long ago, Coldplay concert. And everyone knows it was all over the news. They were having an affair. Right then and there, the entire world found out they were having an affair. Think about tracking people. Think about those apps where actually women and men track their husbands and wives. Isn't that ridiculous? When you're at a point when you actually have to track, well, I think it's time to distract itself from the other spouse. So the problem is there. The government should distract themselves from us.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Some wise words there. And you're really leading me into the next question that I have about restrictions on freedom. The fact that when there is so much information on you that it could potentially restrict your freedom to travel, to work. There is conversation. The conversations have been about the fact that it's about restricting the amount of people that are coming in on the boats. That's been the main driver and the main conversation about bringing in the BRIC card in specifically. That doesn't stop. There's always been a black market for workers because that's just the way it's always been. And when you make purchases and medical health care, it might be that you've overused your credits on medical health care. And the other aspect is that it will be used for social security payments and benefits of different descriptions. And I just feel that it would be a huge encroachment on the fact that your whole life is visible in one database, which is accessible by many people that are within the government. And I just wonder, with all the data breaches, how safe is that? And how safe is it encroaching on your right to privacy? My feeling is that it will affect and have an impact for those that are living under that constant digital scrutiny and surveillance, and it will have an impact on individuals as well as communities. What are your thoughts in terms of the impact on our well-being and our mental health?
Very dangerous for the mental health, because we will feel that we are stuck. We will feel that we are like an open book. So we might as well write a book about all our secrets and just give them away. That is the way it is. It is. Our mental health is something that is very precious, because there are things we do not want to share. Many people, well, 100% of the people actually do not want to share all their secrets. But think about this. The way things are going now, you will not be able to have one little secret of your own, which is ridiculous because, life is about trying things. It doesn't need to be something bad, but you try things, and sometimes you do not want your family to know that you went to try a parachute or things like that. But if you have digital ID, well, everyone knows you went skydiving.
Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia. And my feeling is that it will shift our social norms, because there will be a fear of people being judged for doing certain things that are now in that public domain. And I also feel that it will increase social anxiety, increase the feeling of not feeling accepted, and also trust will be eroded, because if all of this information and the information will continue to build within the databases of the digital ID, is that there will be, as you say, nothing secret anymore. I feel that we've always had that right to privacy in terms of our healthcare and the right to privacy of where we spend our money. And that brings me into another aspect of this, that it builds a very significant platform for a one digital currency, because once that platform has been created, the digital currency that will be one world will be, it's there, the opening is there to have a one digital currency that will be global, and that will have an impact in terms of people and their spending power. And it will create fear, anxiety when people are seeing that everything is being watched. They will be in what's known, what I call a high alert state, where they will be in the primitive state of fear and worry, survival, where the brain goes into an act of survival because they are in a tremendous amounts of fear. And also the societal and ethical angle, that we are trading freedom and convenience if we accept digital IDs. I can see that your thoughts are very clear on that. So how do we go about changing? One of the things that's happening right now in Britain is a petition to not go ahead with the digital ID, which it's being called the brick card. So how could societies balance security, innovation, and the personal protection of personal freedoms?
The British, that is the only way. We have to do like the British. We have to sign petitions. We have to manifest without any violence right away. We have to actually refuse. We have to call our deputies and say we are against. We have to flood the government with letters, with emails saying we are against it. So we have to refuse and refuse and refuse again.
A lot of Britons will be with you on that, Reverend Lydia. There is a huge outcry of this particular hot potato. I was really surprised because I saw the ticker running into the thousands. It was like hundreds at a time in seconds signing the petition. I watched the ticker just go round and round, and I was really shocked because I didn't realise how much it meant to the British to be their right to privacy, to be having that right to privacy. So the future outlook for these digital IDs, it feels like it's inevitable And at the same time, because we are going and we are moving, and there are many countries, as I mentioned earlier, that have already adapted into a digital form of identity. Many people have commented about, we've got passports, we've got birth certificates, that this feels a bigger thing because it is digital. And many people have said, well, you know, people can work out where your location is, but this just feels like it's one centralized place which is held within the government. And it feels like it has encroached on the freedoms of the people, because we are entitled to our freedoms. So safeguards must be in place, mustn't they, Reverend Lydia? We have to have safeguards in place. Otherwise, what happens next? And it will come to the other countries that haven't signed up yet. So the big ones are the UK, the Britain, Canada, and the US. I didn't appreciate that we were the ones that have been holding out. So we are at the end of our show. I can't believe that we've actually come to the end. There is so much that we can talk about, that we are at the end of our time. Please, Reverend, we could do another show on this, I'm sure, in terms of just pulling out the different aspects on safeguards. Please, Reverend Lydia, share the best way to contact you and what you'd like people to contact you for.
Well, they can contact me because I am doing some programs from my books, 111 Reflections for Thy Earth Odyssey, the self-help books, because I help with transformation, with introspection, mindfulness, compassion, compassionate self-discovery also. I invite my readers to engage in life through curiosity, clarity, and sense of sacred connection. I do that with my books. I also would like to get my readers actually to understand that with the miracle mist, they can elevate their vibrations. It is very, very important, because low vibrations are serious, and if they feel either depressed or there is something that they're stuck, they feel stuck. Well, the miracle mist does help. Talking to you does help also. I understand that, having someone to talk to. But when you are not available, the miracle mist is something that elevates the vibrations and can help them to feel better, according to the ones that have used the miracle mist over, because I sent it to universities, and from the universities, the studies, they came up with the same thing without me saying what it could do. So that is pretty much. So they can join me at 1-514-582-6882. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. And please do follow, connect with Reverend Lydia. She has a wealth of wisdom, inspiration, and she is an inspiring person to go to in terms of her life experience and how she's overcome things. For me, I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert, and I will help you bust your stress. I do that in groups. I do that online and in person, both one-to-ones and in groups. I'm also a speaker. You can reach me on No More Stress at live.co.uk, or call, if you're international, +44, if you're local, 07523 120 189. Or you can connect with me, follow and connect with me on my social media platforms, which is LinkedIn and Facebook. Well, we have had a very powerful time today, and I'm sure that this may be as controversial as it gets in terms of any show that I've ever done. And I applaud you for listening without judgment, because this is the challenge, to listen without making a judgment on anybody's personal views, because we are all entitled to have our own personal views. My show tomorrow is at a different time and on a different day, because I've had some challenges with my technical stuff. Is my Talking Heads expert show is taking place on the last day of the month, which is Tuesday, the 30th of September. And my topic is high functioning anxiety, the silent killer of modern success. And I thought that was extremely powerful in terms of what's happening today, despite all of the challenges, how high functioning people are still maintaining high levels of success and how it affects them. Thank you very much for checking in, watching us either on the live or the replay. The conclusion to our show, and it's not really concluded, digital IDs sit at a crossroads of freedom and control. There is a promise of convenience and a promise of security, but it raises questions about our privacy, and it has a powerful impact on our human choice. And challenge isn't just technical, it's ethical, it's political, as well as it's personal. How much of our freedom are we willing to trade for convenience? Who sets and who gets to decide? Every nation, every individual must face as our world becomes more digital. Thank you for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure to present a hot potato topic. Please do tune in to our next show, which will be Monday. It's always on a Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. British Summer Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia, for your incredible, truthful and authentic inspirational shares. And thank you to Dr. Jacqueline for the amazing Wizzy effects behind the show. I look forward to seeing you next week at the same time. Bye-bye for now, and over to our sponsors.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA-Global-TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.